All right, Tequila Talk Tuesday.
Let's do this.
Yeah, this is our guest interview episode that we're super excited about. This is Rhylan. If I butcher your last name, is it Streloff?
Streloff.
Okay, yeah, perfect. This is Rhylan, hashtag Hot Boss he blew up on JJ's Fashions, and we're excited to have him here. And that's it. Let's get to it.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Let's do this.
Okay, so we were kind of chatting with Rhylan just a few moments ago, and we started talking about some good shit. So we thought we'd start recording and kind of rewind a little bit here.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about like JJ's and how like you handle that. So what I was gonna say is I was very what I'm confused about is that you didn't even start the whole thing, like your employee did.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
Yeah.
So why were you the one to get mad at, and they're still using the hashtag Hot Boss? Like, was it just because of the other things that you're doing, or?
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's just complicated. Family's complicated. There was a bunch of things that happened, but yeah, essentially they were trying to tell me that I needed to live this way, and I was just like, look, listen, nobody. Especially it was like compounded by everything that's happening with COVID and like mandatory vaccines and all this shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like so sick of people telling me what to do. I was like, fuck you.
Yeah,
you know
right?
what I mean? Like, I have my like free will, my freedom, and you're not. Like, this is the one thing I'm not gonna back down from.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just didn't make sense financially for me. I was standing to make way more money doing this, and I was just like, all right, man, like plus I don't have to work anymore.
Yeah. You're doing really well, like all of the like, because like I think because you and I connected over Instagram, and actually Jenna asked me this earlier today. It's like, how did you and Rhylan actually start talking? And I was like, it was that thirsty DM that you got.
yeah
that I messaged you and I was like, that was aggressive. So when we started talking, I definitely started like looking up more of your career and like book covers. Like that's amazing. Like still doing fashion, doing the book covers, and then you've got brand deals with the manscaping and all of that stuff. So you're actually like, by the looks of it, you're doing really well. I'm getting.
Yeah, I mean, it's still trending up. Like, I had my best month. Last month was my biggest month to date. So like, it's still. I mean, some of the engagement is down a little bit from what it was like when I was really blowing up. I mean, some of my posts used to get like 30,000 likes, like no matter what I did and all that stuff. So it's a bit down there, but no, I mean, following's still going up. I just re-signed with Manscaped for another.
That's
another
amazing.
Deal.
Good job.
And,
yeah, that's something that I kind of wanted to ask you about, is go over kind of your timeline of how things evolve, because did you ever reach out to brands, or did brands just kind of start reaching out to you?
No, they started reaching out to me. So like, to do like a brief summary, like I didn't even have Instagram. I had to download it because I went to work at the store, and I was like, okay, I gotta figure this thing out. And it's like so funny, if you go back on that JJ's page, you'll see like I didn't even post my face for the first while. And what happened was I had a search browser open on my computer, and Maddie saw it, and I was literally YouTubing. I'm like, how to grow your Instagram? And she was like, I know how to make us blow up, and she made that first TikTok, and the very first one went viral. And
because I read a newspaper article how you did, like, because you got interviewed and basically said like, I grew 30,000 followers in one day. It was absolutely insane. You wanted Maddie to take it down because it was just, you were getting all this attention. And it was pretty intense.
It was fucking super overwhelming, to be honest with you, at first.
Well,
like
30,000 followers in one day, like,
and it was like crazy shit, like German actresses, like models from Vegas, like. There was a Swedish, like you're seeing like the blue check marks, like people with like 1 million followers being like, "Hey, daddy," I'm like, "Pardon?" You know,
I love that.
There's this one girl I'm still obsessed with her. Her name is Masha. I'm gonna butcher her last name, Masha Dadek or something, from Vegas.
Okay.
And like she FaceTimed me, and I was like in the store in Trail, and she's like cruising around in her like. I don't even know what she drives, some sort of Benz in Vegas, and I was just like, I'm FaceTiming like a supermodel in Vegas right now. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, this is my life.
So was it on TikTok then, and then that like spilled over to your social, like to Instagram?
Yeah, everything spilled over from TikTok, and then we would post the TikToks to Reels and Instagram, and then that would blow up. And yeah, it was pretty wild. And then everyone just started reaching out like crazy. Like Beneath, I think, was the first brand deal I got. And it was like $3,000 for an Instagram post, which was amazing. I was just like, okay. Like,
you're like, sure, yeah, done.
Yeah. What do I have to do?
For you. And from there, then I got in touch with an agent. So I actually work with Ashman Communications. So she does all the reaching out to brands and everything like that for me, communicating. And yeah, it's been pretty good.
Sweet. That's awesome.
I like that you still kept like the fashion aspect of it though, because like when you were with JJ, like I really liked when you did all the fashion stuff, like and you still doing it. I was just like, it's so, I like it.
Yeah, it's hard to like find the balance because like obviously my OnlyFans is what like
makes me money.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I still like to keep it kind of PG for the brand deals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it's just fun. And I just enjoy it. I mean, I grew up in a clothing store. Right? Been working there since I was 10, so yeah, it's just something I enjoy.
Hey, who doesn't like a little nudity here? Right? So.
That's right.
So with OnlyFans, what exactly? Because I feel like do you follow Hammy TV at all?
I don't.
So they're a couple, and basically they started an OnlyFans because it's pretty like R-rated humor that they post on Instagram. Yeah. So then they did an OnlyFans just so that they don't have to filter their comedy at all. So I know that there's like different avenues of OnlyFans. Like it's not all just like porn essentially. But what have you found like on OnlyFans? Like, do you feel like that's the main driver behind it? Or do you think...
I think the main driver is that. I know a lot of creators that don't post full nudity. Like, I mean, I started reaching out to a ton of people just because I didn't know. And I was just like, hey, I need some help. Like, what do I do? Yeah. The majority of people don't even post full nudes. Like, especially girls.
Yeah, I know a girl who made like, it was something like $500,000 one year just by like, she didn't show her face and it was just side boobs. Like, she's literally just doing this. Like,
or like maybe like one boob shot a month or something, and I'm weird in the way that I would feel bad almost. Like if you're like
coming full nude?
Like if you're coming here, like I'm pretty sure you're expecting full nudity, and I don't want to be like, just kidding. Like here's just like
here's my abs that you can see on Instagram.
Yeah. So I mean, and I got nothing to hide, so
that's fair. That's admirable though, because there's a lot of people out there that it's just like it's very they hide it, right? Like they don't want to say like, oh, I'm on OnlyFans, like that's something that they don't really talk about.
Yeah, there's a big stigma around it for sure. I think people have the like preconceived notion that you're like selling your soul and like
you're a whore and you're a prostitute. That's what it is.
You're a sex trade worker, and oh my god, it's just like I think our society is just like that way. Like you see these like romantic movies and there's so much, I don't know,
cheesy Hallmark movies, you guys, like where it's just a kiss at the end and that's not where the movie ends, you guys. That's just where the camera's cut off.
Totally. Like, I think we all do this stuff, and the more open and honest and transparent we are about it, like the better off we are, because I think there's more harm in people hiding this and like repressing your sexuality. Like I think that's where the fucking weird shit happens. So
big time. And especially in like, nothing against religion or people that are religious, but a lot of the time they're scared to talk about it and communicate about it, so then they're just like straight up shamed, and they're like, if you have any desire, like you're fucked up, that's wrong, don't do that, and then they end up doing really sketchy shit on
because like I said, I grew up Mormon, and so like when you look at the Mormon girls out there, they get married right at 18, and it's not because they want to get married, it's because they want to have sex, you guys. Like they want to start a family, they want to have sex, they want to feel passionate, because they've been stifled since they were like 14 years old. And me growing up Mormon and definitely going through like that sexuality phase, and because like not to be not modest, but I'm a pretty good looking human, and I got shamed by a lot of the girls because I was friends with the guys. Oh, she must be doing something sexual with them, and it's just like no, I'm gonna express myself however the hell I want, and I'm not gonna apologize for it.
Totally. No, there's just a ton of I think you nailed it. Like religion just put this whole fucking unnecessary spin on it, because
they say it's sacred, right? When it's a natural act, they push it into your mind that this is a sacred act. It can only be done between a husband and wife or a married couple, right?
I think there is some like truth there. I think there is like a better experience when you're having a genuinely loving relationship.
100%.
But I mean, we're all human. We have this desire.
We're physical human
It's like
beings.
God-given. We were born. Everybody has it. So
Yeah.
like, the more we just repress it, it's just not the way to go.
Physicality is an amazing thing, and sometimes you just need that button pressed. But
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as far as like brand deals and goals like moving forward,
Yeah.
what do you want to do now? Because it hasn't been that, like, when did you leave? Like, when did you decide to move? Like, how long
It's
has
been
it
like 3 months. Maybe.
Okay, so not that
like,
long.
Yeah, pretty recent. Honestly, my goal right now is, obviously I can't just be attractive for a living forever. Like, I've got like a 5-year plan where I'm just like gonna put as much money away as I can, invest wisely. I think the great part about this is you get to incorporate yourself as like a business.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of advantages to that, like a lot of tax savings and stuff like that, and you can invest as a corporation and all this good stuff. So that's my goal, and I love business. Like, I love being an entrepreneur, so I'm just like trying to find an avenue to go down that road that I'm like genuinely passionate about, whether it be something social media or a restaurant or whatever.
have you ever thought about like starting your own brand, like your own label?
Yeah, actually, I was just talking about it this morning with Justin. So we're working on it. It's just it's a lot of work. Yeah, there's something.
Cool. I'm glad I picked up on that, because like that's what I meant about like when I said about the fashion. I really like that you kept that in your kind of niche, because I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that just don't know how to dress.
Yeah, and honestly, I struggle with style as like it's a thing, right? Because it's very like dependent on how you look and what kind of vibe you're trying to go with. So there's a lot to it, right? Like there was a long while, actually, my ex, we were going through some photos of me like 5 to 10 years ago, and I was just like, I dress like that, like, oh my God. Like the baggy shorts with like high top skate shoes and stuff. I was just like, what are you doing, man? Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
But that's the thing, like a lot of guys don't, like, they go for comfort, or they do like oh man, like when we drive down the street and I see the guys with the baggy pants going halfway down their butt, and I'm like, it's not 95 anymore. You hike them up, like, so I feel like that could be a really good niche, like
100%. And my boyfriend, when I met him in Mexico, like, they just dress nicer there. Like, I feel like in Canada, guys go out, like, they will go out in jeans and a hoodie and like a hat. Like, that's it. Like, that is their going out look. Yeah. And in Mexico, it's not like that. And when we went out for the first time, he's like, oh my God. He's like, I'm never going to be caught dead in that. Yeah. And then fast forward 10 years and for sure he goes out like that.
That's awesome.
But it is funny. Like, it's very cultural too.
Yeah.
And there's even in Calgary, like, there's definitely areas and niches where you see people dressed up more, and then you see people just
there's almost like an expectation, like the higher star restaurant, like you're like, oh, suit and tie, but like, and then like the bar when they have like dress codes and stuff like that. But
the fact that you even have to like put a dress code in place, like, says a lot.
I feel like it comes down to pride though too, like personal pride. Like, how do you feel when you put on those clothes, like, and like, do you feel stuffy? Okay, well then don't wear them, wear something else. But like, we not wear sweatpants and hoodies to a restaurant?
I agree.
Cool.
I mean, like, look good, feel good, play good, right? It just like makes you feel better. You walk in a room, you got more confidence.
Yeah.
It's just but we're very like blue collar in Canada, so I mean, me too. Like, I came from the rigs, right? Like, nobody gives a shit, and you don't think, as a guy, women appreciate that. Like, you think that,
we do,
and they do, which is crazy, because like
that's why you've turned into the male fantasy though. I swear to God, because you dress well, you take care of yourself, you're constantly you do the gym posts, you dress like, you're fashionable, and women are like, oh my God, I wish my guy could dress like that.
It's weird, because I wouldn't have guessed that. And most guys, like, they look at me, and I've had guys reach out and be like, you're a fucking idiot, like, do women like this? I'm like, dude, the amount of women female attention I was getting when I was acting like you, and the way I'm doing now, like, way different. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a lot of guys just don't understand. Like, you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta start putting shit on your skin. You gotta fucking like, the little simple things, like brushing and flossing and whitening your teeth. Like, I swear to God, guys don't even.
Oh my God, I dated a guy who was a hockey player and a drag racer, and I swear to God, like, he always tried to kiss me before he would brush his teeth. I'm like,
that's the first thing
brush your teeth.
If I'm with a chick and it's in the morning, I'm just like, hang on.
Yes.
I'm going to the bathroom.
God, take care of yourself. I can't.
Yeah. There was this funny post I saw, and it was like basic male hygiene tips. It was like, brush your teeth, wash your ass.
Yes.
Simple
Yes.
stuff. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, because we as women, like you would think like we go through waxing and facials and hair and nails and all of these things, and we do all these things like maybe not necessarily for male attention, but for us to feel good.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of it, you know, you strip down and get nude for a guy, and he's like, it's like, no, I don't want to touch that. I'm pristine. I don't want to touch that. Sorry.
Men are disgusting. Women are just.
It's okay. Have you ever heard of Andy Frisella?
No.
Oh, she's
Okay, I love him. He has a podcast. He is based out of St. Louis. Anyways, he's really good. Really like him. But he had a podcast where they talked about, like wiping the pee off of the toilet seat and doing little things like making your bed every day.
Yeah.
Like that shit matters. And
Totally.
he was talking about how women can wear freaking G-strings and not have anything on it.
Right.
And guys can wear boxers and their shit staying.
it's
true.
the little details.
It's so true, but and there's like such a like deeper underlying thing there about discipline for me anyways. It's like all of those little things, like if I am slacking on little stuff like that, like cleaning my toilet seat, like putting my dishes away, like it's like it very closely corresponds to my mental health, because like as soon as I start slacking on that, then I'm not meditating, then I'm not doing this, then I'm not taking care of myself, and the next thing I know I'm just like miserable and depressed and shitty, and it's all because I'm not like putting the little effort, the little things in to like make myself feel good.
Yeah, even if you do, like, because we talk about 5 little things every day, like even if you're not doing 5 little things every day, definitely just.
I feel like it's a good thing to ask you about, like, walk us through what's a day in life for you, like what's kind of your things that you need to do in a day-to-day basis, because being, in the public eye and being on social media, and you've even talked about it, like you have a certain stigma that when you were dating your girlfriend and you posted a picture and you lost so many followers that you're like, hey, if it gets to this point, like I gotta take that off. So how do you kind of juggle the two sides of things, right?
Yeah, it's tricky. Like I'm still learning. Like this wasn't something I wanted to do, right? It's just something that happened. So it's a little tough, but especially like essentially I work from home and like I'm my only.
You're your only cheerleader.
Yeah.
Nobody else is coming for you.
There's
to lift you up.
nobody else there to fucking get me out of bed in the morning. Like I could sleep until 1 o'clock in the afternoon and nobody's gonna know.
Yeah.
But I try to wake up at least 7 o'clock. I'm trying to make it earlier. Like ideally I'd be up at 6, but it's so dark.
Yeah, it gets easier in the summertime.
In the summer,
when it's light.
it's different, but like
100%.
it's miserable that early in Edmonton. So like 7 is fine for me.
Yeah.
But no, I get up and like my first thing I try to do is like I try to hit the ground and I pray. I meditate and I try to just like stay off my phone for at least like the hour in the morning. It's super hard, but like I don't want to get lost in that thing because it just like.
Well, Elon Musk says our phones are already an extension of us. Like they're already a part of us.
Yeah, we're essentially cyborgs.
Already, exactly.
Yeah, so no, I just try to like get grounded, try to meditate, try to get in touch with like what's going on within myself and try and put some, just like say thank you, try getting the gratitude and just like
I love that you're talking about that because like one of the things that when I sent you was just like Jenna and I love manifestation and visualization and affirmations and all of these things and that's what we talk about on Tequila Talk Tuesday is just like your mindset and stuff. So I love that you get into that.
Yeah, it's huge. And honestly, it sounds stupid, but I remember there was specifically like I was in probably the best like mental space of my life, and I was in the gym one day and I was like, you know what would be cool, like if I put some effort into being an influencer, like I wonder what would happen. And like seriously the next like couple of days like all this shit happened.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
No, that's manifestation at its best.
We were doing some pre-recordings and we legit talked about that, and we were saying how you have to really be conscious of what you're thinking.
Totally.
Because if you're really in tune with yourself the shit that you think, it does come
100%,
negative or positive.
Yeah.
Like that episode, Jenna even said, she's like, we need to get some interviews on here, and I reached out to you like literally 30 seconds later, and you were like, yeah, let's do it. And then I reached out to Kristen, and she was like, yeah, let's do it. And then my business coach Lauren, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, fuck, this is.
And then I told her, I'm like, I just hashtagged the year of interviews, and she's like,
done. Like but like you really do have to be careful of your, like, because I was editing one of the episodes, and I said, I'm not afraid of my mind, but at the same time, I'm a little afraid of my mind. You have to be, though, because it's the same with, like, because we talked about Catherine Zankina, and Catherine Zankina is a manifestation babe. She's huge in manifestation, and she says she doesn't talk shit about anybody, because she knows if she talks it, she thinks it's going to go out and it's going to come back tenfold. Totally. Yeah. And so she's a very conscious thinker, and I've definitely tried to adopt that. Yeah, hard.
It's crazy, because your thoughts are what you experience 100%. And so like manifestation it's like it can be a dangerous thing, because you know, like you gotta be careful what you wish for.
It's really cool to have a guy talk about manifestation, because I feel like it's a huge,
it's this hooey dooey thing.
Yeah, it's woo woo, and like I feel like it's a very female dominated industry niche, something.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I think there's a whole, I mean, for me, I'm a huge like believer in spirituality and all that. Like it's not something new, it's something old that we just like completely lost sight of, because I think my view is like all these corporations and all this stuff, they're just lulling us to sleep, to just be brain dead consumers and fall into like, for me, when I drive past a like subdivision or a suburb, I'm just like, you're being farmed for fucking money right now. Like it's disgusting. Yeah. So I try to get in touch with that whole other aspect of living. And
they know how to do it. Like they know, like all these big corporations, governments, all of these people, they know how to do it. They just don't want us to know that.
Yeah.
To know how to do it.
Honestly, that's the best part. Yeah.
Yeah. Please.
The best part about the internet and the way we can live now is like, it's not something to be scared of necessarily. Like you can, if you're asleep, you can fall into these traps, but like we have the freedom to just do whatever we fucking want.
Yeah,
you know, like,
but nobody knows that though, because there's still that societal stigma of you need to get a 9 to 5. You need, like, that's the only way you're going to be successful. You have to, you have to be a doctor, a lawyer. You hear that all the time. Like that's what you're groomed for. Yeah. But you can make, you can make money doing anything. You can be successful doing like anything. There's a girl that I follow on Instagram who makes money, makes 6 figures a year, showing people how to grow out their hair.
Yeah.
Like, well.
Manifestation, it's weird, because you can, I think it's misused in the sense that it's more powerful when you align with what your purpose is. Like there's this quote that was like, the idea, I'm going to butcher it, but it was like about loving your fate. So I think it's more important to try to align yourself with what your path is, which you probably don't know. Like, because you can fucking wish to be whatever all you want. Like if it's not for you, like it's not going to happen, right? So I think there's more power in like getting still aligning with what that
what we say is aligning with the feeling that you want to have when you've reached your goals. So aligning yourself with that feeling, like, and then those goals will, or those opportunities and those pathways will be opened up to you. And you have to be conscious about recognizing.
Well, and that's where I think it's a really cool position that you're in, because you're kind of starting this, second chapter of this new journey. And I'm kind of curious to see, what do you see opportunity different now? Like, do you see, having goals, for this year, let's say, and then things just kind of start falling into place? Like, has that started to happen yet, or things are aligning?
I won't lie, I need to do more work in this area. I've been meaning to like.
You're never going to be done. You're never going to be done.
Never. But I think I put shit on my mirrors, right? Like I'll put like the notes, like this is where I'm going, like this is what I need. You have to put that stuff out there, because otherwise you're just aimlessly wandering through life without any sort of direction, right? And there's a lot of power to it. I know Michelle from Elle's Boutique, she's like a big believer in this, and it's crazy. She's like, here's my vision.
She's so cute. I follow her.
Yeah. And she's fucking rich.
She doesn't present that way, but that's amazing.
That business is doing phenomenal. Like it's like this staple in retail in Canada. Like
that's amazing.
Amazing. Like and
then there's Rhylan in the bathtub with his feet up getting DMs. Send me feet pics.
The feet people, it's
I hate feet.
Have you legit experienced that? Like,
that's
a thing. Okay.
That's why I'm saying it.
Yeah, because I put that one picture because I did that calendar shoot.
Yeah.
And my foot was in it, and I shared it, and then like it was like feet DM, and I was like, haha, that's funny, and I like shared a DM about it, and then it went fucking. I went into the feet side of Instagram, which I did not know. And I mean, I won't lie, I've sold some feet pictures for like
yes, you
bucks.
have.
Yeah, like that's it's insane.
I'm just like $500 to send you a picture of the bottom of my feet. They're like, okay, what is my life?
yes. Hey, I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, you will not see me caught dead taking pictures of my feet. It won't happen ever. I hate
but
feet.
That's where kind of.
I got nice feet.
Fair.
I fucking hate feet.
Me
Like,
too.
so much. I
can't do pedicures. I've kicked a girl in the face before trying to do a pedicure. Like I can't.
My feet are covered in tattoos because I'm like, nah, I need something on
Your
it.
feet are covered in tattoos?
Yeah, because I can't do it. But I don't know. The one thing that I thought was super cool about you getting into doing the podcast. So Rhylan has a podcast called Thirst Trap. Check it out. But I think you, like you said, you're kind of like a little bit all over the place. But one of the episodes you talked about, like, it was just going to be about like dating life.
Yeah.
And I really think that you guys should dive into that because it's such a, like, I've been in a relationship for 10 years. Like, I have no idea what dating is like now compared to what it was. And it's, you guys are the Instagrammers, the TikTok influencer, things like that. Like, it's the direction the world is going. But the shit you guys talk about is so funny. And I think that, I just think you guys should do more of that and just like talk about the weird shit like foot pictures because people like the average human has no idea. Like you hear about it, but no one really knows.
You don't know anybody. Actually, Kate, that's a lie though because the guy that I did the drag racer had a foot fetish and he used to buy me heels like stripper. I think I still have a pair of stripper heels to wear, and he would constantly touch my. And I'm just like, no,
like would he suck on your toes?
Man,
I know. Ooh, but he wanted to like paint them. And stuff. It was weird.
Really?
Yes.
That's so strange to me. Like,
it's weird. It's weird for me, and he liked it, but I was just like, no, thank you. No.
There's something weird going on there, and I just don't understand it. But there's like so many things like that. Like my best friend, he's fallen into this like mask fetish.
Okay.
And he's
like mask or mask?
Like mask.
Oh, like full on.
Like he's buying them from Italy. Like
the Kim K shit, like the full on.
Like the latex thing, or is it like masquerade?
No, I'm talking like a clay entire like.
Okay.
Yeah, or like he has this one like leather like gladiator style mask, and I'm just like, what? Like, you want to do that? Like, you want to put that on, like, and like not be able to breathe? He's like, yeah, it's super hot. And I just there's each their own. It's not my thing.
Each their own. But that is what you guys like. Yeah, because I love the Girls Gotta Eat because it's so, like, they're just talking about, like, their sex life and dating and their experience. And I just think it'd be so fascinating hearing from your perspective.
Because you think that men are just, like, they're just pigs, right? Like, you just, like, they're just pigs. They just go out, they fuck, and they're, like, but you don't, like, I mean, as a woman, like, just thinking about it, like, it's just... What do you do? Like, how do you prep? How do you talk to girls? If a situation happened in a club and she was like, fuck, like, what do you do in that situation, you know?
I totally agree. And I was hearing that podcast and it was only from the girl side and it was like, men are fucking assholes, they're doing this, and it's just to hurt me. It's like, that's not fair because you in another breath are talking about like your past and how it's,
and you're psycho and you're crazy and
it's driving the way you think. And like me, I've been in a lot of relationships, a lot of them have failed, and it's not, I don't think it's because I'm a bad guy. It's like there's a lot. I don't think anyone consciously
You're still figuring it out.
No one is consciously doing things to hurt you. Like a guy isn't going into a relationship being like, I'm here for the one purpose of fucking your life over. Like that's not what we're here for. Like there's a bunch of shit, especially guys, we have a super hard time because nobody talks about it. You don't go to therapy. You're just like,
it's a stigma.
You're just supposed to stuff all this shit down, be a man, get a job.
Big boys don't cry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we're all bringing this bullshit into relationships, right? Yeah. And I'm guilty of it now. Like I just had another failed relationship. I thought I was ready. I'm just not, because there's still shit from my past that I haven't dealt with that comes up. And it's like, you don't know that's there until you like get into it and it comes up again. You're just like, fuck, here it is again. And you gotta deal with it. And I'm just a big advocate about guys like trying to get help, trying to talk about it, getting into therapy, because like,
that's amazing.
And I'm super guilty of it. I was talking to this girl that I was interviewing to possibly join the podcast, and she was like, yeah, I went out on a date with this guy and he got super drunk and was like, just like terrible. I'm like, yeah, that man is suppressing
something. Yeah, he didn't want to fuck up, so he's just like, let's put something in my mouth.
Yeah, and we're super guilty of it as for guys. Like, we just want to be the person that has a good time, goes out for drinks with his buddies, because like at one point that shit worked for us, but like now as we get older, bunch of bullshit comes up, and it's like, for a lot of guys, it stops being fun. Like,